When a dog attacks a person, dog worshippers will do one of two things. They will either blame the owner of the dog or they will blame the victim. But they will never ever blame the dog because they worship dogs, and in their minds, the dog can do no wrong. They suffer from a severe mental disorder that blinds them to reality and keeps them from seeing dogs for what they are. Dog experts tell us that domestic dogs retain the instincts of their wild ancestors, and that they can shift into something called predatory drift in an instant. It doesn't matter how the dog was raised. It has nothing to do with the owner. You can't love or train predatory behavior out of a predator. Most dogs that attack were raised in loving homes. They were well trained. They were the best dogs, the most affectionate, sweet family dogs for many, many years, until one day something snapped in them and they inexplicably attacked someone unprovoked. Just to give you an example, a few days ago, there was a 3-year-old boy in South Africa who was in his house when the neighbor's pit bull type dog leapt through his window, dragged him outside, clamped down on his neck, and killed him. Now, rather than accepting that what happened was a predator saw a child as a prey animal and acted on its predatory instincts and did what predators do, rather than see this, that the dog is a remorseless, bloodthirsty, fanged predator that was bred to be an efficient killer, they will come up with any other explanation. They refuse to accept the reality, the truth, and instead they blame it on something. They don't even know what to blame it on. They just say that the dog must have been provoked. There is no other way to explain it, they say. This is not a mystery. I just explained why this happened. And they just don't want to accept the explanation. Now, what we see on these dog worshipping websites is that these dog worshippers are aware that dogs often attack strangers unprovoked. They're aware that this happens. And they talk amongst themselves and they try to understand what happened with the dog. Why did the dog do this? And when you read through these conversations, you will see the most insane, out of this world stuff that will blow your mind. I came across something today that I had not seen before, and I thought I should show you this because this exemplifies how irrational these people are. You know, there's no getting through to them with reason and logic. It's because they are brainwashed by a cult. And as you know, there's no getting through to cult members. They refuse to believe that they are in a cult. They will never admit that. They think we are crazy. And this is just so frustrating. I just can't believe this degree of insanity that they get away with. I can't believe that these people are not locked up somewhere. How are they permitted to live in society with the rest of us? How are we being forced to have these lunatics as our neighbors? They are endangering all of us by keeping these unpredictable, ticking time bombs, these dogs that they believe are just these unconditionally loving creatures. It's just so infuriating. It drives me seriously crazy. So anyway, this person who keeps getting attacked by random dogs, they know they're not doing anything to provoke the dogs. They are at a loss and cannot explain these attacks. So they consult their dog worshipping pals and are trying to come up with some sort of explanation for this. And this is what they come up with. They believe in light and dark entities that exist in the spirit world. And they say that when we have negative emotions, that these dark entities are somehow attached to us. They believe that dogs can sense these dark entities and that is why the dogs attack. Now, this is absolutely outrageous and ridiculous, not just because I don't believe in a spirit world and I don't believe in dark and light entities. Let's suppose, for the sake of argument, that these entities do exist. I don't believe they exist, but let's suppose they exist. If the dog is a loving creature, why would it attack a person that is plagued by dark emotions and dark entities? Put yourself in the dog's shoes. I know dogs don't wear shoes, but imagine you were able to sense these dark entities around people who have negative emotions. Would you, upon sensing the presence of a dark entity around a person, go on to attack that person? That is crazy. If I could sense the presence of dark entities around a person, I would either try to help the person out of a sense of common decency and just respect. I don't like to see people suffer. If I'm walking down the street and I see someone attacking another person, I will call the police. I'll do something. I'll call for help because I'm a decent person that doesn't like to see others be harassed or threatened by anyone. So if I see that kind of thing happening, I'll try to help them in whatever way I can. If I cannot help the person, I will either leave them alone, or if I'm scared, I'll run away. But a dog attacks the person. What is that? What kind of crazy explanation is this for a dog attack? It is just like dog worshippers' other common explanation for dog attacks. They like to say that when a dog attacks, it's because it smelled your fear, as if this justifies an attack. And they say this while believing that dogs are loving creatures. Would a loving creature attack you because you're scared? That's mental. If I see someone who is scared, I try to reassure them that they are safe, that there's nothing to fear. I will move in a careful way so as not to startle them. I will speak with a soft, calm voice to try and calm them down. The last thing I would do to someone who is scared is attack them. That is not what a loving person does. So blaming a dog attack on dark entities and dark emotions is victim blaming. It is basically saying that because you had dark emotions or negative emotions, that you had it coming. You attracted these dark entities to yourself by indulging in negative emotions, so that's why you got your hand ripped off or your face ripped off. I think this is so infuriating. And when these people say these kinds of things, they need to be called out on it. You should be able to walk home in a foul mood because your boss gave you a hard time at work. You should be allowed to be angry and to feel sad because your relationship just ended, or because someone you cared about just died. Or maybe you grew up in a dysfunctional home and you were sexually abused or physically abused or whatever. You had some sort of trauma happen to you. So therefore, you carry around a lot of resentment and a lot of negative emotions. You should be allowed to have those emotions without being punished for it by being attacked by a dog. You should be safe in having your negative emotions. This is not a reason. This does not justify being attacked. Would we excuse a human being for attacking someone because that human being sensed these dark entities around a person? You know, if a person did that, oh yeah, I attacked that person. Why? Oh, because I saw some dark entities around them. Oh, they have some negative emotions. Oh, okay, Jim, you're free to go. You know, how crazy. If it's true that there are dark entities and that dogs attack people because of said dark entities, then guess what? Dogs have no business in our communities. That is not a reason to attack someone. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to bring this to your attention. You're going to see a lot of victim blaming if you follow these conversations between these dog worshipping, I was going to say a derogatory term, sick people. These very sick people, when they talk amongst themselves about dog attacks, random, unprovoked dog attacks on strangers, which they know are occurring, you will witness a lot of victim blaming. Call them out on it. Link them to my videos about predatory drift. Link them to my videos that are backed up with loads of peer-reviewed scientific research. Link them to irrefutable facts and statistics. And ask them, what do they have as evidence? I had someone comment today on my channel telling me that I'm crazy and stupid because their little brother patted a pit bull type dog on the head and didn't get bitten. Yep, can't make this up, guys. You know, that's as ridiculous as me saying, well, I've known a few drunk drivers in my life and none of them injured or killed anyone, so therefore, nothing wrong with drunk driving, right? Or my mother smoked her entire life and she never got cancer, therefore you're stupid. You know, cigarettes don't cause cancer, you idiot. You know, that's how stupid these people sound when they start talking about their anecdotal evidence. So just because something hasn't happened to them yet doesn't mean it isn't happening to other people every day, because it is. They're arguing from the specific to the general, and that's a logical fallacy. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and let me know about any other sorts of crazy explanations these dog worshippers come up with to explain unprovoked attacks on strangers. And I'll catch you later. The future is dog free.